So welcome.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to your presentation. So now we'll be changing topics a little bit, and now we'll be focusing on automotive lighting and the challenges for automotive lighting. So when you're ready, the stage is yours. The timer is 18 minutes. We can go up to 20 minutes maybe, and then good luck.
And I will, hello everybody, I will try to talk with the mic. So my name is Henri Matha. I am a CEO of a Driving Vision News company. And previously I was technical leader in Volvo cars. And I was in contact to prepare this presentation with TechBlick. And I was Volvo cars, but now I am DVN. And DVN, indeed, for the people who do not know, we are a very small company, but we are gathering the complete automotive lighting supply chain. And then the idea in this presentation is to talk about electrical architecture, so not to focus on hardware, because we have seen Matha was talking about hardware and PCB, but we wanted to talk about software, and especially about automotive lighting software. And then I am doing this presentation with Ignacio, because Ignacio has replaced me in Volvo cars, and perhaps Ignacio, you can introduce you.
Yes, thank you, Paul. I'm Ignacio Cadenas. I work for Volvo cars. I'm right now in charge of electronic software when it comes to exterior lighting and exterior systems in general. And just to come back to what Paul just said, our main challenge right now is when it comes to electrical architecture and software and so on. So that's why we're here, to try to talk to you guys and make you part of that challenge that we have.
Thank you, Ignacio. So when I started in automotive lighting industry 25 years ago, lighting was especially plastics and bulbs, so no electronics at all. But now in the value, electronics is around 80% of the value, and the business of automotive lighting is around $50 billion per year, something like this. But then, if we go back 80 years ago, so on this picture you see a very old and the first one Volvo, but you see that electrical architecture already we have electronics or electricity for lighting, and only for that, because you can see that the wiping system, for example, was a manual wiping system, so nothing, but electronics was already there for lighting 80 years ago. And then 20 years ago, 80 years ago, it was in the 80s, already some people were thinking about complexity in electronics for automotive, and we were facing some problems. So you can see on this picture, I think it is, yeah. You can see that into 1920s, we have not a lot of electronics in the car, but it has increased a lot. And then in the 80s, 90s, we see that the length of the harness, for example, was more than this value. So it was 2,000 meters, so 2 kilometers of harness, and it was an issue already. And then people decided that they have to change the architecture of the car. And then we discover and we introduce the multiplexing. So this was done in 2000, so 25 years ago, and we discovered this multiplexing. With this multiplexing, indeed, it took a while to have a standard, which is now known by everybody, which is the CAN. And the CAN from Bosch appears in 1986, so 40 years ago. But before that, we have different competitors to the CAN networks. It was the VAN, it was SCP, ECP, and so on and so on. But it took a while, around 5-10 years, to have this standard. But what do we see now? Even if we have this multiplexing with CAN, we see that the complexity is increasing. So it was in one DVN event, so BMW, they presented this slide just to show the evolution of the complexity of the software. And you see that we go in 2000 about this value, and then in 2020, we have multiplied by 10 or by 100 the complexity in the software. And why? Because in automotive lighting industry, we have new functionalities, especially we have navigation system, we have ADAS, we have camera, but for lighting also we have what we call adaptive driving beam, we have welcome scenario, we have a lot of automatic functionalities, we have also now the daytime running lamp, adaptive rear lamp, and so on. So the complexity has increased a lot. And then where we are now in 2023, I took a slide from Active, but what you see is that the complexity is still growing and very, very fast, especially because we have no new infotainment system, we have no safety requirement, connectivity requirement, cybersecurity, and a lot of new things with ADAS. And then this complexity is still growing.